name's Nina and welcome to today's Pilates class, which is ideal for people who are new to Pilates. Let's begin the class by rolling down onto a mat or a soft surface. Place our hands on the lower part of our rib cage and let's breathe in through our nose and feel our rib cage expand into our hands, and then breathe out through our mouth. So breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. From here, let's place our hands in the air, palms facing each other, slight bend in the elbow, and let's take our right arm above our head towards the floor and then bring it back to centre. Let's take our left arm above our head towards the floor, making sure that we keep our back and our ribs down on the mat, so don't arch through your back. Only go as far as you can with your arm, that you keep your back down on the mat. So it doesn't matter if you can't touch the floor with your hand, we're just warming up the upper body. So take your right arm above your head and then return to centre. Take your left arm above your head and then return to centre. Right arm above your head and then return to centre. Left arm above your head and then return to centre. One more on each side, so right arm above your head, return to centre, and then left arm above your head and then return to centre. Let's now place our arms down on the mat beside us and let's slowly push our right leg from the bent position out straight and then bring the foot back to centre. Let's now push our left foot out straight and then return to centre. Push our right foot out and then return to centre. Push our left foot out and then return to centre. Push our right foot out and then return to centre. And last one, push our left foot out and then return to centre. I'm just going to shuffle up my mat a bit more, I'm a bit low down there. This time let's combine our leg and arm movements, so lift your arms in the air, and as we push the right leg out, let's take the left arm behind our head and then return both to centre. Push your left leg out, take your right arm above your head and then return to centre. Push your right leg out, take your left arm above your head and then return to centre. Push your left leg out, take your right arm above your head and return to centre. Push your right leg out, take your left arm above your head and then return to centre. Push your left leg out, take your right arm above your head and then return to centre. Push your right leg out, take your left arm above your head and return to centre. And last one, push your left leg out, take your right arm above your head and then return to centre. So now we've warmed up our body. So from here, let's bring our right leg up to tabletop, where the knee is directly above the hip, so your leg is in alignment, and then your leg is bent at 90 degrees. And then from here, let's do some toe taps. So take your foot down to the mat and then return. So let's tap and return, tap and return, tap and return, tap and return, and last one, tap and return. Bring your right leg in towards your chest, give it a quick squeeze before placing the foot back on the mat. Now let's lift the left leg to tabletop, where your knee is directly above your hip, so they're in alignment and your leg is bent at 90 degrees, and let's tap the left foot. So we tap and then return to tabletop. So tap and return, tap and return, tap and return. Tap and return. And the last one, tap and return. Bring your left leg in toward your chest. Give your leg a quick squeeze before placing the foot back down on the mat. This time let's bring both feet up to tabletop, which will use our abdominal strength. So engage your core before we do that move by gently pulling in your belly button. Imagine there's an invisible belt around your waist that you're gently pulling on so that your belly button gets pushed in towards your spine. But don't push your belly button in too much that it's uncomfortable for you. It's just a light engagement of the core. And once we've done that, let's bring our right leg into tabletop. And then using our abdominals, bring our left leg into tabletop. So both legs are in tabletop and we're using our core strength here, especially our abdominals. We can place our hands on our tummy or we can place them by the side, whatever's most comfortable for you. And then from here, we're going to tap the right foot down and then back up. Tap the left foot down and back up. When you're doing the move, if you're arching through your back, just bring your knees a little bit closer to your chest, or you can place your hands under your bum, which will also stabilise you. So whichever's most comfortable for you. So let's just tap the right toe and then return. Tap the left toe and then return. Tap the right toe and then return. Tap the left toe and then return. Tap the right toe and return. Tap the left toe and return. Let's do one more on each side. So tap the right toe and return. And last one, tap the left toe and return. Then bring both knees in towards your chest. Give your knees a quick squeeze before placing your feet on the mat. So let's do some pelvic tilts now to warm up the lower back and the pelvis. So we're currently in the neutral position where our pelvis is relaxed. So from here, let's tilt our pelvis down so that we arch our lower back slightly. You may be able to put your hands between your back and the floor. You may not, we're all different, it doesn't matter. And then from here, release your pelvis back to the neutral position before lifting your bum slightly off the floor and imprinting your lower back into the mat where your hands will then not get under your back and the mat. So let's release now to neutral, and then let's tilt our pelvis forward where you may have a little pocket of air between your back and the mat, and then release and then tilt your pelvis up. So you slightly lift your bum off the mat. So return to neutral and then tilt your pelvis down. And then release to neutral and tilt your pelvis up. So they're only small movements. Imagine you've got a marble on your tummy that you're trying to not roll off. So they're only gentle movements, trying to keep that marble on your tummy and it not roll off. So just gentle movements as we tilt the pelvis down and then to neutral and then up and then back to neutral and then down, and one more, back to neutral and then up. So release back to neutral, and now let's progress to a shoulder bridge. So shuffle the heels of your feet in towards your bum so that you can tickle the backs of your heels. Legs are hip distance apart. Upper body, so shoulders are down and relaxed, no tension in your upper body. Place your hands and arms down beside you on the mat. Gently press your arms into the mat so there's some tension there, so your arms are engaged. And then from here, we're going to push through our feet, squeeze our glutes. We'll tilt our pelvis up so we imprint our lower back into the mat, and as we keep pushing through our heels, squeezing our glutes, our hips will lift off the mat, and then we go into a shoulder bridge. So the weight of our body is in our shoulders and not our neck, and there's a line running from our hips, so our knees, to our hips and to our shoulders, so there's a nice alignment going through your body. And then from here, let's slowly return back to the mat. So up back first, and then the mid back returns to the mat, then the lower back, and then release to neutral pelvis. So once again, let's push up through our heels, squeeze our glutes, lift your pelvis up so that you imprint your lower back into the mat. Keep squeezing your glutes, pushing through your heels until once again you're in a nice shoulder bridge. From here, let's place our arms in the air where there's a slight bend in the elbow, and then let's scissor the arms. So take one arm to the floor and one arm to your hips, and then let's alternate. So we're scissoring the arms. Keep squeezing your glutes so that you keep pushing your hips up. So keep scissoring and squeezing. So let's do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Return our arms to the centre with palms facing each other, and now let's drop our hips down to the mat, but without touching the mat, let's squeeze our glutes and push back up. So let's take our hips down and then push back up. So we dip down and then up. So down and up and down and up. Let's do 4, 3, 2, and 1. Return our hips up so we're in alignment. Let's place our arms down beside us on the mat. Squeeze your glutes, push your hips up, and let's just hold this position for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 before we take our back down to the mat. So upper back first, and then the mid back returns to the mat, then the lower back, and then release your pelvis to the neutral position. Let's now straighten out our left leg, and let's do some leg circles. So bring your right leg in towards you, give it a quick squeeze just for a couple of seconds, and then just straighten your leg. So that's as much as I can straighten my leg. I've got tight hamstrings and hips. So you may have your leg at 90 degrees or you may have it bent like me. You can place your hands down beside you. Make sure your shoulders are down and back so there's no tension in your upper body. Or you can place your hands on your pelvis so that you can check that you're keeping your pelvis nice and still. We're using our abdominals here to do the leg circles, and also our thigh and our hips. So when we're ready, let's take the leg round and then back. So we're doing small circles for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And now let's reverse the circle for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Bring your right knee in towards your chest, give it a quick squeeze, and then let's place the right leg outstretched on the mat, so nice and straight right leg. Bring your left leg in towards your chest, give it a quick squeeze for a couple of seconds. Before then, straightening the leg to 90 degrees if you can do that. If not, like me, you can bend your leg, place your hands on your pelvis so that we can check that we're keeping our pelvis nice and still, or we can place our hands down beside us, whatever's most comfortable for you. And then let's do some small leg circles. So for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And let's reverse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring your left leg in towards you, give it a quick squeeze, and then from this position let's progress to the single leg stretch. So keeping your left leg in towards you, hold your left leg with both hands. Your right leg is out straight, point your toes, and then we're going to curl our head, neck and shoulders off the mat. Put your chin down to your chest to protect your neck from neck strain, so don't look up, otherwise you'll put a lot of pressure and strain on your neck. Look down towards your toes on your right foot, and then from here lift your right leg off the mat and into the air. Bring your left leg in towards you, take a good grip of your leg, and then when we're ready we're going to change legs. So now we're holding the right leg, and then let's change, and let's change, let's change, and then change. So let's do 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring both legs towards your chest, give them a quick squeeze, take your head over to the left to release any tension in your neck, and then slowly turn your head over to the right. And then return your head back to the centre, and let's do the single leg stretches again. This time take your left leg out in front of you, point your toes on your left leg, make sure your shoulders are down and back. Use your both hands to grab your right leg and pull your right leg in towards your chest. Lift your head, neck and shoulders off the mat, chin to chest to protect your neck from neck strain. And then when we're ready, lift the left leg off the mat, and then we change legs. So we change and we change. So right leg and then left leg. So bring the right leg and the left leg. So right leg and then left leg. Let's do 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Bring both knees in towards your chest. Give them a quick squeeze. Take your head over to the right to release any tension in your neck, and then take your head over to the left. And then from here, let's roll over on our side, and let's do some side lifts. So put your legs together and then push your hips forward so that your knees, hips and shoulders are all in alignment. So your hips might naturally go back, so we need to push your hips forward. Place your forearm down on the mat. Your elbow is directly under your shoulder, and then what we're going to do, just double check your alignment so your knees, hips and shoulders are in alignment. Place your arm in the air. We're going to push up through the forearm and our legs, and we're going to lift the hips off the mat. So when we're ready, let's lift and then down. So let's lift and then down. So let's lift and then down, and lift and then down. And let's do 4 more, and 3, and 2, and 1. From here, let's do some side lifts. So we need to put both legs together, outstretched. Place your arm outstretched and rest your arm on your head on your arm. Place your hand down in front of you. I'm going to lift both legs off the mat. So make sure that your body's nice and straight. So there's a line running through your body from your ankles to your knees to your hips, all the way to your shoulders. So use your hand to give you some stability. You might wobble, it doesn't matter. And then let's use our strength in our core and in our legs to then lift our legs up and then down. So let's lift and then down, and lift and then down, and lift, and then down. Let's do 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Let's now roll over onto our tummies. So let's do a single leg kick. So your legs are hip distance apart, your thighs are gently pressing into the mat. Place your forearms down onto the mat in front of you. Look down between your hands so that you reduce any neck strain in your neck. Engage your core by gently pulling in your belly button to protect your lower back. And then engage your glutes, point your toes, and then when we're ready, bring the right leg towards your bum and then kick, kick, and down. Bring the left leg towards your bum, kick, kick, and down. So right leg, kick, kick, and down. Left leg, kick, kick, and down. Right leg, kick, kick, and down. Left leg, kick, kick, and down. Right leg, kick, kick, and down. Left leg, kick, kick, and down. Right leg, kick, kick, and down. Left leg, kick, kick, and down. Right leg, kick, kick, and down. Left leg, kick, kick, and down. Let's do 4 more. So left leg, right leg, and last one, left leg. From here, let's push up and let's change sides so that we do the side lift and the leg lift on the other side. So place your forearm down on the mat, your elbow is directly under your shoulder, your knees are together in alignment, so push your hips forward so that your knees, hips and shoulders, there's a nice line running down your body. You may naturally have your hips back, so we just need to push them forward. When we're in alignment, lift our arm in the air. We're going to push through our forearm and we're going to lift our hips off the mat. So when we're ready, let's lift up and then down. So let's lift and down. Let's lift and down. And lift and down. Let's do 4, 3, 2, and the last one. From here, let's progress to the leg lift. So straighten your arm out on the mat or the floor, rest your head on your arm. Straighten your body so your legs are together, your heels and feet are together, your ankles are together, so there's a nice line running all the way down your body from your shoulders to your hips, to your knees, to your ankles. Place your hand down in front of you to give you some stability, and then we're going to lift both legs off the mat. So you may wobble, don't worry, use your hand for stability. So when we're ready, let's lift both legs and then down. So let's lift and down. Let's lift and down. And let's lift and down. Let's do 4 and 3 and 2 and the last one. From here, let's now push up into the seated position that we started today's class in. So that's the end of today's class. Thank you for joining me for today's 25-minute Pilates workout, which is ideal for beginners. I hope you've enjoyed the class and I look forward to seeing you again very soon.